We go. Yeah, find a position that you're comfortable with. Obviously, I'm in the flat at the moment. I want to be on the camera as much as possible. So I'm going to do the large majority of this from the kneeling position. One hand on your chest, one hand on your belly button. You're going to go down into flexion with your neck. Everybody here today, I think, has got a reasonable amount of experience with this class now. So nice and slow through flexion, extension of the neck, all the way up. No pain on the closing angle. Double chin again. Peel down. Trying not to move anywhere else in the body. Back up again. Just really stretch through that throat, put your chin on the ceiling. Come down into flexion last time. Scrape your chin across your collarbone. Put your ear behind your shoulder. No pain, closing angle, just an open side stretch. Up towards the ceiling. Good morning, neck. And round. Back the other way. Over about 2 circles, but if you need to kind of reverse, if you find something of interest there that you want to revisit, that's fine. Back the other way again, ear behind shoulder. Keep going. I just need to make sure that somebody else. Good. All right. Okay. Forward fold through the upper part of your back. Okay. So, oh God, there you go. Forward fold through the upper part of your back. You're going to just take a breath there. So a big exhale. Rotate to the right. Feel that stretch in the left-hand side of your rib cage. Take a breath. Put your right shoulder in your right pocket. Take the sternum now towards the ceiling. Stay down on the right-hand side. Across the middle. Left shoulder, left pocket. And then forward fold. Back the way you came, rotate to the left, hips still facing forward. Left shoulder, left pocket, sternum up towards the ceiling, across the body, and right shoulder, right pocket. Repeat that again. These people turn up on time. Ooh. 2 seconds. Person. Okay, so if you've already done this, forward fold, rotate to the right, right shoulder, right pocket, feel that stretch in the left-hand side of your rib cage, up towards the ceiling, across the body, left shoulder, left pocket, and forward fold. If you're no longer comfortable in here, and this is where you're sat, you can change position, hands out in front. I want you to punch your hands forward for me. That brings your shoulder blades over your rib cage. Keep punching forward as you lift up towards the ceiling with your shoulders. Keep lifting up as in you squeeze shoulder blades together. Don't bend at the wrist or the elbow. Keep squeezing together as you try and put your shoulder blades in your back pocket. Punch forward again. Elevate. Retract. Depress. And then come back the other way. So squeeze together. Elevate up towards your ears. Keep elevating as you punch forward. Keep punching forward as you then depress. Try not to move too much through the torso there. Same circles, you can change hand position if you want. I think somebody's got their microphone, so just double check, guys. Squeeze together, elevate, forward, protract, depress. A couple from the side if you want. Up, forward, down. Different load profile. Might be better at this one, might be worse. You can do one at a time if you want to as well. Elevate, protract, depress. Okay, both arms out. We'll do both wrists at the same time. So, palms up. Imaginary iPhone on your forearm, no rotating from the elbow. You're gonna go straight fingers, bring your fingers towards you, or your palms towards you. Little fingers in towards the middle. Open up, show me you got nothing in your hands. Keep those fingers straight as you go through. You're gonna wanna do this now. Open up to the side, then the lift, back up and through. Back the way you came, show me you got nothing in your hands. If you need that tactical cue, you can either have something here or one-handed, just hold that wrist so that you know that you're not moving. You can go both together. In, open, Thunder lift on the outside, back up. Ooh, stiff today. One hand, left hand across the body. Just put it onto that little bony part of your elbow. I want you to bring your hand towards you, externally rotating, so the thumb out towards the side. I want you to push your hand across your body here, but without chicken winging, and then extend. Just shy of straight, back up, externally rotate again, open, back up. Ideally, little fingers would be outside your bicep now. Push across, then extend. Other side, same bone here. You'll see less movement on from me on this side now. This is my dodgy side. So as I push across, that's about as far as I can go, whereas on the other one, I'm out here. Keep that elbow tucked to the body, extend. Back up, rotate from the elbow, outside, extend. Last one, outside the bicep. Push across from here, not just the wrist, extend. Okay, another position if your ankles are going to explode. Straight arm across the body, open palm, try and put your hand on the ceiling. Come across until you max that out. Elbow straight up towards your schnozzer. Don't arch through the back. Bring that arm past the nose, past the bicep, past the ear, sorry. Once you reach that end point, that's there for me. If you've already started to bend in your back, that's the point at which you start to rotate. Okay, start to rotate that thumb towards the ceiling, the floor. Stretch behind you. Keep rotating and bring that back of the hand to face the leg now. Okay, stretch back like you're in a relay race. Don't let that shoulder come forward. Reach right back, high as you can. Rotate the thumb towards the ceiling. The whole arm rotates. Keep that rotation going as you come past the ear, past the face. Same again, second round, up, past the ear, if you can. Rotate from the shoulder, not just the wrist, like a key turning in a lock. Stretch behind. Relay race, back, rotate up and through. One from the front for you. Open palm, left hand across. Up past the schnozzer, rib cage down. So I've done some external training yesterday. I'm a bit tight, so I can feel I want to lift my chest up, across, rib cage down. Rotate. Keep rotating as I then miss the piano. And then stretch, relay race, rib cage down. Rotate that thumb up towards the ceiling. Bring it up past the ear and then across the body. Last time, up. Rotate from the shoulder. Keep rotating as you reach back. And then relay race last time. Rotate, up, and over. Come back to the spine at the end. Oh, I say that a lot and then we don't do it, don't we? Lying on your side. Let's get into these hips, all right? 90 degrees at the knees, 50 quid underneath the bottom knee. You can unload a little bit by just tucking the tailbone. Hand out or pushing down into something. You're going to bring that knee in towards your chest, shortening this tissue here. You're going to keep that shortened and open up towards the ceiling. Try not to roll onto your bum. Push that as far as it will go. And now start to rotate that knee towards the floor and the foot towards the ceiling. Keep that rotation going as you donkey kick back. You start to feel that in your glute now. And then start to lower down towards the floor. Bring it in again towards the chest. Open up. Internally rotate. Donkey kick back. And down. Everybody now take their hand and put it in between the lower rib and the top of your hip. Get into there and see whether your spine is trying to do some of the work that hip should be doing. We shouldn't see this sort of bucking bronco, and that tactical feedback will help with that. Donkey kick back to the wall. Elevate. Keep elevating as you rotate. Keep rotating as you bring that elbow up towards the armpit and down. Last time, donkey kick back. Keep kicking back as you lift. Keep lifting as you rotate. and bring that elbow, knee. I'm all over the shop. One night doing the night sheets. Come on, Matt. This side. Knee in towards chest. Open up towards the ceiling as much as you can without rolling onto your back. Internally rotate. Hand on side if you want. Donkey kick back behind. Lower down. In towards that chest. Shorten that tissue. Keep shortening as you open. Keep opening as you rotate. Keep rotating as you kick back. Trying to get that foot higher than the knee. Then lower down. Donkey kick. Up. Over. Donkey kick. Up. And up. Okay, lying on your back. Now, normally, we would look down the shin. In fact, you can do this if you want to. If you're more comfortable looking down the shaft of your shin there and you want to see that rotation from the knee, absolutely fine. You can do it from here. You can feel those hamstrings working. A little bit different. You could come up to here, open chain. So perpendicular to the floor. This knee's not going to move in and out, up or down. So it's just straight. Then we're going to do our knee car from there. So in this shortened position, I'm going to externally rotate from the knee, trying to rotate my shin towards the right. It's my right leg. I'm then going to keep into that external rotation and start to straighten. Max that out, just shy of straight or wherever you feel comfortable. Internally rotate at the knee now, and then pull back down. Extend up towards the ceiling. External rotation, just at the knee, not the hip, and pull back down. Up. Internal. Down. Last one. Up. External. Down. Stay on the same leg, 90 degrees. And then we're going to do ankle circles from here. Head relaxed if you want. Either out towards the side. Again, if you're more comfortable doing this sat, that's fine. We're going to do our ankle circles. So out to the outside, eversion. Keep everting as you then go through the point. Try and maintain this 90 degrees here. Point those toes, roll the foot, and back up. Nothing special about doing cars from this position. Just a different load profile. Mix it up a little bit. Back the other way with the ankle. Try not to move anywhere else in the legs. Second time. Through. And then invert. Nice. Okay. Left leg knee. 90 degrees. Pull in. Externally rotate from the knee. Here. Shorten the hamstring on the outside. Extend at the knee. Internally rotate the knee. Back in. Stay internally rotated using the inside hamstring. Lift up towards the ceiling. Externally rotate the knee. And back down. Last one's up. In. All that work being done with hamstrings. Up. External. Down. 90 degrees, ankle circles, evert to the outside, not from the knee though, that's what I'm going to cheat. Start to point, roll that foot through, and back up. Invert, go through the point. Something about not being able to see my foot now just makes this harder. Don't have that visual cue. Back round, evert, point. Your legs are aching, don't worry, that's fine. And this, and through. Okay, both feet on the floor. Everybody can do this one lying down now. So you can't see your feet now. Your feet, knees, as long as you can, but with your feet flat on the floor. So if your toes start to come up, that's a stop. So come back shy of that. If the tripod on the floor, tripod, ball of the foot, a little pad under the toe, and under the heel. All right, from there, I want you to lift all toes up. All toes down. Big toes down, little toes up. Down. Little toes down, big toes up. All toes up. And then try and put your little toe down first. Again, you don't have that visual cueing, so all toes up again. Big toes down. Little toes down, big toes up. Ugh. All toes up. And then give them a spread. All right, well done. Okay, so a little bit of 90-90 rotational flow. All right, we're not going to spend too long here. So set this up in your comfortable position. All right. Oh, there was a couple of people that turned up just a little bit after 10. So if you may need a towel for today or a cushion just to protect the knee. We're going to be doing stuff from half kneeling position once I've done a little bit of this rotation. Okay, so left knee forward or left leg forward, right knee back. We're going to rotate, face over the front leg. I want you to ducktail out at the, with your pelvis, bring your belly button forward and try and find a stretch in the back of this front hip. So back here. All right. You can then think about pushing your hips in this direction so that you're almost sliding on the floor. That will bring in that stretch a little bit more. From there, we're going to just do 3 short pails and rails efforts, which means directional force in the rotating. So I want you to get a circle in your mind now. You found that stretch, ducktail, belly button, sliding back. Take a breath in. And I want you to start thinking about coming right hand down on that wheel by pushing down with your foot into the floor. That should load that area now that is being stretched, okay? Take it up a little bit higher, a bit more pressure down into the floor. Now take it to about 60% of your max effort. Push your hands into the floor. Keep that stuff on stretch in the left hip. 4, 3, now we're going to go left hand down on the wheel. So foot feels light now. Stay exactly where you are. I want you to think about trying to lift your foot off the floor here. Space between the ankle and the floor, using the outside of that left hip. A little bit more pressure now, try and get it right up. And again, ramp it up again. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Just go through these 3 checks again. Ducktail, tailbone up, belly button forward slightly, and then push back. See if you can get a little bit deeper or just find some more stretch. But that's it, all right? Rotating onto the back leg now. Another familiar position for most of us here. The back leg 90-90. If this leg is a problem now, you can take it out. That's not an issue, okay? I want to focus on this femur, all right? This thigh bone rotating in the hip socket, all right? So bum down towards the floor. You can start to rotate if you want. Leaning back is also fine. When you're comfortable, again, circle in your mind. I want you to imagine you've got some scales underneath this foot now, some bathroom scales. You take a breath, stay rotated. Right hand down on the wheel. I want you to get those imaginary scales to read heavier because you're pushing that foot down into the floor. Rotating the femur down towards the right using this outside hip stuff. Keep ramping up, a little bit heavier on that scale. A bit heavier again. Hold. 4, 3, 2, stay where you are. Now I want that scale to read light. So you're going to contract with all this stuff here. Try not to cramp. Bring it on slowly. Foot feels light. You're not going to throw yourself out, but you are going to try and lift that foot off the floor. So all of this stuff is contracting up to about 60% and hold it there. Foot feels light. The scale's reading lighter and lighter and lighter. 2, 1, and relax. Okay. If you want to, we can now transition to the other side. If you know that when we do these transitions, it's just not comfortable for you, you do not have to. You can just meet us in 90-90 with right leg forward. For everybody else, we're going to open up that back leg. Face forward. Shorten this tissue on the outside. Once you've maxed that out, you can then start to rotate and sit onto your bum, hands on floor if necessary, legs nice and wide. This leg is going to be pushing down towards the floor. Left leg comes in now, as far as it will go. And when you max that out, then you can follow and end up in 90-90. All right? Same thing, a little bit of rotational stuff just to prepare us, and then we can start expanding out into this half kneeling position. So if it's different on this side, so my external rotation, not so good on this side, so I'm going to just have a little towel, prop myself up here. All right? I'm going to go through my checks again. Ducktail, belly button, and pushing back. I find that stretch. I shouldn't need to go all the way down here. All right? Good body control, good awareness, should be able to find a stretch somewhere. And as soon as you've got it, you don't need to push too far. Circle in your mind. Take a breath. Keep that stuff on stretch, and now start driving that foot down into the floor. If this back leg's a problem, you can take it out. Keep pushing down up to about 60%. Keep that stuff on stretch. Keep pushing. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now I want you to try and lift that foot up. Don't change anything in your torso. Contract the stuff on the outside of that right hip. Foot up towards the ceiling. Ramp it up again, up to about 60%. Foot feels light. Trying to get a deck of cards under there. 2, 1, and relax. Go through those 3 checks again. Tilt, belly button, push back. See if you can get a little bit more access to the back of that hip. Nice. Okay, quickly. Onto the back leg. Internal rotation. If the front leg is a problem, take it out. That's not an issue. Looking for this femur now to rotate down towards the floor, down towards the left. Okay. Imaginary scales underneath the left foot. Circle in your mind. Get comfortable. Take a breath. Start to push that foot down into the floor. That's going to give you some contraction on the outside of this hip, pulling that femur down towards the left. Left hand down on the wheel. Get it up to about 60%. Hold there. Bathroom scales reading heavy. 5, 4, stay where you are with the torso. Take a breath. Now start to contract here in the jeans pocket area. That foot feels light now. The imaginary scales will be reading lighter and lighter and lighter as you try and lift that foot off the floor. You may get a little bit on the underside of the leg, that's fine. Keep rotating, contracting all this stuff here. Up to 60 and hold. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and dial down. Okay, nice work. So those are all things that we've done before. That's just a nice little daily bit that you might want to put in. Well, we always do rotation first, and then we can expand out. So on my little piece of paper here, I've got a half kneeling position, hip extension is what I want to do. So protecting the knee, we need either a towel, cushion, or something. Let me set it up first, and then I can talk about if this really is a problem for somebody's knee. We can talk about another position for you, but we call this the half kneeling base position. All right. I'm not too fussed where that front leg is in terms of width. I just need you to kind of be balanced and pelvis forward. Okay. Both hip bones facing forward. All right. For this example, what I do want is a straight line here. All right. So I don't want you to be too far forward or opening up too much through the chest. All right. So hip extension, opening up this side, using contractile strength in the back of the right leg. So I'm left leg forward here, guys. All right. I want you to try and get kind of comfortable here. Start thinking about getting a bit of a stretch at the front of this. You could have your toes here. That's also fine. I'm going to go foot flat. So get a bit of a stretch up here. I want to open up this space, and we're going to use pails and rails in order to do that. All right. New position. So we'll, again, only go to 60% on the first one. let's talk about these pails and rails then. So everybody continue stretching. The pails contraction here is thinking about getting this knee to come forward, like you were dragging it up into the shape of the front leg, okay? Gonna load all of that tissue at the front. I wanna keep rib cage down. At the same time as trying to drag that knee forward, I can also pull the front leg backwards, like this. It is an isometric, so I'm not going to move. We will ramp that up and hold. Once we switch to rails, we're not going to change anything from the pelvis. And instead of dragging the knee forward, I'm now going to contract through my glute and imagine that I am opening up a little bit more. All right. So everybody's been taking that little bit of stretch into the back leg. Take a breath for me. Rib cage down, hand support if needed. All right. Take a breath in. And now start to drag that knee across the floor, forwards. Bring the heel back as well. So we're trying to close this space. All this stuff here is being loaded now. Don't worry if you're uncomfortable in this position. I'm going to do another one in just a second. Keep ramping it up. Bring the rest of the body up to 60%, now trying to drag that knee forwards. You might feel some of that stuff going on in the adductor as well. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the bum and drive the knee backwards now. 40%. Pushing your feet apart or knee and feet apart. Hold it at 60 for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, dial down. Everybody who's in this position, stay. If you were like, that's too much for my knee, I'm going to do another example, right hand side. You could, everybody else just stay half kneeling. Lie flat. You can either have both legs up, all right, or one leg straight, okay, because of the room here. So I've come into that sort of half kneeling position. When we do pails now, you can push down into the floor, all right? When we do rails, I want you to try and lift up, but not from the low back. So you're going to take that right hand, put it onto your belly, and if you increase pressure into your hand as you lift, you'll know that you've gone into that low back. So pails down into the floor, rails lifting up. Everybody else, second set in the half kneeling. Take a breath, thinking about closing this gap again. And drag that knee forwards. Tight fists. Drag that front leg back. Loading all this stuff. Doesn't look like much, but once you start to get that contraction going, you radiate force into the rest of the body. Hold it at 60. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeeze the bum, drive apart. Try and rip the floor in half. If you're lying down flat, lift the leg off the floor. 60%, squeeze that bum, drive apart, drive apart, drive apart. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, dial down. Should have a little bit more room here now, all right? A little bit of hip extension stuff for you. Other side, 2 rounds of pails and rails. Okay, will feel different. It will feel different, left and right. Okay, right leg forward now. Like I said, if you need to be a bit wider here, I'm okay with that. If you need more hand support, that's fine. A table, sofa, that'll do. Tuck that tailbone underneath. Find that stretch stuff in the front of the left leg. Rib cage down. Just a couple more breaths trying to find that stretch. Tuck the pelvis underneath. Pull the belly button up in towards the spine. Take a breath. Start to drag that left knee a lot across the floor now. Should feel loading in this front of the leg. Pull with the right leg now to try and close the space. Get it up to 60. Hold. 10. Dragging that knee forwards, trying to close this space. 4, 3, 2. Squeeze the bum hard. Drive the knee back. Open up this space. Drive the feet apart. Build that up to 60. Squeeze the bum. Bit of tactical feedback if you need it. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Dial down. Ease into a little bit more space. Should be able to get a little bit more tuck. Okay. Take a breath. Second round. Here we go. Drag that knee forwards again. Pull with the front hamstring. Load this stuff at the front. Trying to get this left knee into the same shape as the front leg. Up to 60 and hold. Pull together. Drag that back knee. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the bum. Push the feet apart. Squeeze. Ribcage down, remember? Up to 60. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Dial down. Open up a little bit more. I'm sorry, guys. I've got to crack a window. Woo. Those isometrics will get you. Okay, 2 options now. We've done a little bit of hip extension. Now I want to get stuck into the hamstring. So there are many ways to get into hamstrings, okay? And we always say intention is more important than position. I'm going to show you 2 today, and you can pick between them. One is standing, because otherwise I think we're going to come back to the knee as well in a minute. So if you've had enough on the knees, you can definitely do this position from standing, okay? The standing position is like so. So I got my sofa here. You could use a sofa, you can use a kitchen chair or anything. Don't worry if you don't have that and you're okay on your knee. I'm coming to you in a second. You're going to take right leg up, okay? You can have a soft bend in that knee, doesn't need to be straight. All right, we're looking to get a stretch in the back of the right leg. So I'm going to do that by tilting my pelvis like Donald Duck. Donald? Yeah, Donald. Belly button forwards, and then I'm going to just lean ever so slightly. As soon as I get into that hamstring, hopefully it's in the belly of that hamstring, that's enough. I do not need to come all the way here and round out. All right? So looking for that hamstring stretch here. Now, because you have more than one hamstring, all right, it's a group of 3, and then you could argue that there's bundles within bundles within bundles. You can play around with your foot position. So you can go a little bit wider, externally rotate, internally rotate, play around with different bends in the knee. That's also fine, all right? But I want to find stretch in the hamstring by tilting the hips backwards, or anterior, posterior pelvic tilt, belly button forward, and just hold that stretch, okay? If you're doing the standing, good work. If you're in the half kneeling, protect the knee, same thing. Leg out, okay? Soft bend in the knee. Posterior tilt, trying to find stuff in that hamstring. Now, in this position, you may need to hold something, because if you're all over the shop, we can't really get the force I want into that hamstring, all right? I'm going to work from here, but it's the same thing. So it's pails and rails, pushing down, trying to lift up, and I'll go through those in a sec. But this, the tilt, the belly button, and finding that hamstring, you can do it either from half kneeling, or you can do it from standing. You can see I've actually widened up a little bit, and I'm in a little bit more extension, but you could just be vertical with that back leg as well. Just get comfortable and get into this hamstring. Posterior tilt, belly button forward, find and hold. See my quads already twitching. Oh, right leg forward. Think about pails and rails. So the stuff on stretch now is underneath the leg. I want to create some force by driving that heel down into the floor. It's going to load all of this stuff. I'm not going to change anything in my upper body. We're going to ramp that up to 60%. And then when we do rails, we're thinking about trying to lift that leg up off the floor into more tilt, and then you can lean forwards ever so slightly. And imagine that you've got a tennis ball, you're squeezing it into that crease, okay? In fact, if you take your fist, you'll be able to feel that quad activate in order to create the lift. Everybody's been having that stretch. Take a breath, keep that tailbone tucked out. Load this stuff now by driving down into the floor. Keep it in the belly of the hamstring. Don't want any sort of nerve stuff going down the leg. If that is there, lessen the, increase the bend. Keep driving down and find your 60% now and hold. Keep driving. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now try and lift that leg up off the floor. You're going to go into more pelvic tilt. And imagine you're squashing that tennis ball between. So you're pulling into more stretch. Lift, lift. 2, 1, relax. See if you've been afforded a little bit more room. Maybe you can get a little bit more length, all right? Maybe a little bit more forward. Keep those hips square. We're going straight in for a second one. Take a breath. Drive that heel down into the floor, load that hamstring. If you're standing, same thing. Drive down, load. Get it up to 60. 4, 3, 2. Try and lift that leg up. You're going to do it from the hip flexor. You can take your little finger and feel your squeeze between your hip and your quad. Lift it up, up, pull deeper. 4, 3, 2, relax. And out you come. So that's 2 pails and rails. If I get good feedback off this class, guys, we'll be revisiting these. So there'll be an opportunity to take this force up. But anytime we do new positions, I think 60% is fine. Excuse me. Right. Other side, left leg forward. I'll do the first one from the half kneeling, or you can stand, okay? It will feel different on this side, all right? That's fine. You might not have as much length, okay? You might need to get into a slightly different position with the pelvis, also fine. All things are fine. Find that stretch, couple of breaths. When you're doing that stretch, just rotate the leg a little bit and you will notice that the tension plays across the hamstrings, almost like you're playing a harp. As I said, because there's more than one hamstring, it's a group of muscles. Too much for me, Matt. 3 more deep breaths. Tilt, belly button forward, feel that stretch. Take a breath in. Stay where you are with the torso. Start to load this hamstring now by driving down into the floor. Keep driving up to 60. Nothing changes here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Try and lift that leg up now. Pull deeper into that shape. So tilt the tailbone back even more. Try and lift that leg up off the floor. Lift in, hold. 4, 3, 2, dial down. If you've overcooked it on the knee in the half kneeling position, by all means, go to a stand. Using all the safers today. Up we come. Same thing. Tilt, find that stretch. Intention more important than position. Pails contraction down into the floor to load that tissue onto the back of the leg. Take a breath. Start to push down. Ramp it up, 40%. Anybody else's quad twitching? 60 and hold. 4, 3, stay where you are with that torso and lift. Lift up. It's a strange sensation, I know. How do you know? Well, get that hand into the crease. See if that quad's on. Lifting up. Keep lifting. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Holy moly. All right, everybody just take a chill. Okay. Hip extension, hamstring work. Now we're going to be, so that's a lot of pails and rails, all right? Creating a little bit of length and strength at that new length. Now I'm going to do some contractile stuff. And we're going to do some hip flexion. So more half kneeling. So I apologize if you're if you're a bit sick of that position, but I really wanted to go in and experience it today. If your knees have had enough, you can definitely do this exercise from face down. So the way I'm going to set it up first is we're going to do some hovers. I'm going to do it from a couple of different positions so you can see it, and then I will show you the lateralization. So half kneeling if you can, protect the knee. We're going to go right leg first, all right? And what we're going to do is a hover. So I'm going to flex at the knee, contract the hip at the hamstring. Hang on. I slip off that. I squeeze up. I'm then going to rotate out, tap the floor, lift back up, tap the floor. From behind, that looks like this. Contract first, out to the side. Contract up, over, down. Okay, left and right is 2. We're going to do 10. All right. If you're like, there's no way my knee's going to take that, we can do select this face down. You're going to contract as much as you can and then back. No rotation. All right. When you do it from face down, again, as you curl, it shouldn't be taking into your low back. So you shouldn't feel like you're pushing your belly down into the floor more. To guide you, you can put your hand underneath. Okay. And as you curl and try and get that heel to bum, it shouldn't be the case that you increase pressure into your finger. All right. All of that should be going through that hamstring. Okay. So you will contract as much as you can, build it up, build it up, build it up, and then release under control. Everybody else from the half kneeling position will be going into knee flexion hovers. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to go left leg forward, right leg back. So it's right leg, knee flexion hovers. Half kneeling position. If you need something for ballast, that's fine. Keep that tailbone tucked. So as you curl, we're not being pulled back. All right. Take a breath. Warning, there might be some cramping here. Contract the hamstring, bring that heel to bum. Hold. Out to the side, tap the floor. Lift back through the middle, tap the floor. That's 2. Lift up as much as you can, tap the floor. 3. Hips forward, lift up. 4. Lift up. 5. Lift up. 6. Lift up. 7. Lift up. 8. You can see how I'm trying to pull my hips back now, so I'm going to stay forward, rib cage down. 9. Lift up. 10. Okay. If, oh, wow. If you could do 3 or 4 of those, and then you're like, it's too much. All right. It's all right. Halfway through, you can swap and then go face down and then do the curls. All right. That's not a problem. Other leg. Left leg back, right leg forward. This will feel different again. Ballast if you need it. Take a breath. Hips tucked under and curl. Oh, outside, tap, lift, 2, lift, 3, lift, 4, lift, as high as you can the whole time, using that hamstring. 6, 7, 8, over, hips forward, 9, 10, lift, squeeze, over. Woo. Okay. So perhaps throwing you in a little bit at the deep end there, but everybody likes to hover, they're hard. All right. You don't get extra points if you do cramp, but at least you know you're working hard. Okay. Last thing we're going to do in this this half kneeling position. Again, this one is, I want to say it's not tricky, but everybody is going to show a sort of a slightly different position here because everybody's got sort of different control over their ranges. Let me do the demo first, and then you can then find the position that makes sense to you. We're going to do some deep lunge passive range holds. Okay. So the way that we're going to set that up is in the half kneeling position, and then take ourselves into this sort of deep lunge position here. Hands down on the floor, or if you can't get to the floor, you can push into something that enables you, a chair or something that you feel safe and comfortable in. If you can get to the floor, bully for you. All right, from the front, that looks like this. If I couldn't get to the floor, I'd be using the sofa and I'd be leaning forward. Okay. Once we've leant forward and you feel like you're sort of getting towards your end range, I then want you to then back out of that about 10 degrees. So if I'm left leg forward, I would say like from here, I can go, that's about my end range. I'm going to come back out of there about 10, 15 degrees. Once I'm here, that's when we're going to start doing the efforts. All right. We're going to go 5 seconds pushing down into the floor. That means back knee, front leg down, pushing hands down into the floor. And then we're going to lift for 5 seconds. So I'm going to try, stay exactly where I am through the hip, and then lift my hands off the floor. Okay. There's going to be a lot going on in these hips. All right. If you get any pinching on the closing angle, so in this instance, in here, okay, that would be a stop. Try something out from here and then lift. You will get the same effect, okay, but without risk of that closing angle joint pain. All right. I hope I explained that well enough. All right. So left leg forward, everybody forward. Take yourself down until you feel like your end range. Come out of that end range about 10, 15 degrees. If you need the sofa, that's fine. Take a breath in. Start to push down into the floor, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6. Drive everything down into the floor. 3, 2. Start to try and lift your leg off the floor at the front and lift your hands up. 3, 2, 1. Place down. I'm going to come from the front. Same again. Set it up. Start to drive that front leg down into the floor. Push your hands down into the floor. It's a weird sensation. 5, 4, 3, 2. Try and lift your knee up off the floor. Try and get your foot up off the floor and release the hands if you can. Hold. 2, 1. place down. From the side. Whew. If you are on the sofa, that's fine. All right. Push down into the floor. Back leg as well. Front leg. Hands down into the floor. Loading all this stuff underneath. 5, 4, 3, 2. Try and lift the front leg up off the floor. Pull into this stuff here and lift your arms if possible. 3, 2, 1. Oh. That is sweaty work. Sweaty work indeed. Whew. Okay. Right leg forward. Obviously, you can protect your knee here. All right. It will feel completely different on this side. Trust me. All right. Take yourself to your, what you would call your end range by flexing down towards the floor. If you need the sofa, that's also fine. Back out of there 10, 15 degrees. Take a breath. Start pushing that front leg down into the floor now. Push your hands down into the floor. Push the back knee down into the floor. 4, 3, 2. Shorten the tissue. Try and lift your foot up. And if you can, start to release your hands. 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Some of you will be able to just do that. The key is to try and lift up at the same time. So you're using all this regressive tissue. Second round, take a breath. Push down into the floor. Load all of this stuff here. Pushing. 3, 2, 1. Pull into that hip and lift the hands if you can. 2, 1. Relax. Last one. Push down into the floor. Load all of this stuff in through here. Push those hands into the floor. 3, 2, 1. Try and lift the foot up. Drive the knee up. Shorten this stuff and lift. Hands up. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Lord. Okay. Come down. Take yourself into a little bear sit. Chest up. Just breathe. Six minutes. If you do have a little towel and you're not quite comfortable in that position because you're a bit bowed, sit on your little cushion. A little bit of extra space. Oh, so that's a lot of half kneeling work. So well done if you got through all of that. My apologies if your knees feel or hate you. Hopefully we gave you enough lateralizations in order to be able to just save the knees a little bit. All right. A position that you feel comfortable with to do arm circles, okay? But, yeah, I'm gonna sit on my little towel here. I'm gonna do this from the bear sit position. And I'm gonna face away from you slightly. Okay, but you could do this from standing, not a problem. So just to get into those shoulders, just a little bit of upper body, I wanna go hands at the side of the head. All right, we're gonna go for a full swimmer, all right? From any position that you feel comfortable in. So it could be standing, you could be face down if you want to, all right? I'm doing it from this bear sit. I'm sitting tall, hands at the side of my head. I lift my hands up and out into a Y shape. I then rotate my thumbs towards the floor, stretch behind me, and then bring my hands into my lower back. I lift out, back up, touch my head. All right? That's what I want to do. We're going to do that 3 times, and then we're going to start doing one arm at a time. All right? So from the position that you're comfortable in, nice and tall, pull those shoulder blades together. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together as you come up into a Y shape now. Keep the Y shape as you start to rotate, thumbs towards the floor. Then you can start to move the hands behind you. Keep those hands high, bend at the elbows, hinge, hands into the lower back, tap, and back out, straighten the elbows. Rotate those thumbs towards the ceiling, up through the Y shape, squeeze shoulder blades together, and touch. Straight in, 2, up, Y shape, rotate, stretch behind, hinge, tap, and back, rotate, up, side of the head, and 3, squeeze shoulder blades together, arms up into the air, rotate thumbs towards the floor, stretch behind you, keep that tension, keep rotating, hinge, tap, and back out. Okay. All right, bit of fun. This time, one hand on your head, one hand in your lower back. So we're going to try lift, straighten, through the middle, tap. Now, it gets confusing if I'm if I'm calling this out. So I'm just going to say rep. It's a bit of fun at the end. If you're all over the shop, then don't worry about it. The main focus today was half kneeling. All right. But we're just going to go with, what have we got? 90 seconds to go. We'll say go with 10 reps. All right. If 10's too many, don't worry about it. All right. Do what you can. From your position, you can do this from standing, guys. You can be in a seat if you want. Right hand, back of the head. Left hand into the low back. Sit nice and tall. Lift both hands. And off you go. One. Lift. Straighten. Through the middle. 2. Lift. Bring that towel out. 3. Keep going. 5. 6. Lift through the middle. 7. 8. 9. Last one. Lift. Straighten through the middle. Oof. Holy moly. That's hard. That is hard. Well, guys, it's not quite as nice a day as it was. Anyway, here in sunny Hackney, get outside is my next command to you. Get outside, go for a walk. Let's just get through another day of lockdown, shall we? Thank you very much, guys. Okay. Some new stuff there. As always, I'll take some. Oh, it's Emma. Right, you're Lily. Hey. Well done, guys. I will see you next week, either Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, all right? Any questions? No? Right, well, I'll stop the recording. No worries, man.
Thank you. Bye.
That's all right. Pleasure.